Hello everyone, we are Savannah Stoeckle, Kinyoun, and Emily Lazaro, and we did our event analysis at the Mart Center for the Fresno State women's basketball game versus Cal Poly. So we attended the Fresno State women's basketball game that was held at the Mart Center this Wednesday. The game tipped off at 7 p.m. against San Luis Obispo's Mustangs. This was the Bulldogs' official home opener, following its exhibition a week prior at the Mart Center. The Mart Center is known to host many Fresno State athletics events, as well as concerts, live entertainment, and other events within the calendar year. The Mart Center is capable of transforming into a variety of configurations in order to satisfy its tenants, depending on what event it is. Moving on to venue versatility. For basketball games at the Mart Center, when you first walk in, you're able to see how the entire arena floor is opened up. The basketball court is placed on the concrete right in the middle of the arena. All the bleachers are pulled out, and the student section is located behind the hoop on the east side. For the most part, the arena is filled with seats that are available for purchase. There are courtside seats available for those who pay season's worth, which usually include people of athletics or university donors. The Mart Center is able to hold up to 16,182 people for almost all of the Fresno State basketball events. They pull the curtains and close off the upper level of the seating. This basically makes the arena seem smaller and more full with people that come to the event.
Overall, a general overview of the event, it went pretty well. I mean, it was a well-run event. There didn't seem to be any hiccups. There really didn't seem to be any pauses or failures or things getting messed up. Everything seemed to go pretty smoothly for the game. But as you can see from the picture, there really wasn't that many people there, roughly around 400 people, which is kind of disappointing to have such a small crowd for your home opener, especially at such a big arena. But that's to be expected with women's basketball games, but that's something that marketing needs to work on to try to get more people out. And one way they might be able to do that is by doing more special promotions and things like that. They didn't really have anything going on during this game, nothing for fans to come, nothing for fans to take when they're leaving. They did do their mid-game stuff, like they had a halftime show with the cheerleaders, and they gave away pizzas and shirts, which those are always like fun things that get people into games. But the biggest thing that they need to do is they need to start doing things in the beginning to bring people out to the games in the first place, because women's basketball games attendance is a lot lower than men's basketball games. As far as the ticket processing goes, so students get in free to every single Fresno State athletic event except for football. Football is a discounted ticket. But so for this, students have their own designated entrance, which is kind of confusing because they don't directly tell you. You have to kind of ask and they'll point you into the right direction. So I think that's something that they need to work on, is putting like a sign up or putting something, because not everybody knows if it's their first game where the entrance is. But it's pretty easy. You just go up, they check you down, make sure you don't have any weapons on you, you show them your ID, and then they say, okay, go over to that table where he's going to give you a ticket. And that's pretty much the process, and they give you a physical ticket even though you already got it for free. For general admission, it's not the same. You don't show them your ID, but you just pretty much, you can either buy tickets ahead of time or you can buy them there at the box office. They'll give you your ticket, you walk up, they scan the ticket, and you go in. So regular season games, women's games are about $8 to $11, and then men range from 10 to 40 based off of where you're sitting. When it comes to parking and the availability of parking and the parking lots, there is actually a lot of parking at the Mart Center, although it doesn't feel like that at sometimes when there's students parking there and you're trying to find a spot. But as far as the events go that are later in the night, there does always tend to be a lot of parking. Generally, tickets for parking are going to cost $10, which is kind of steep, and that's usually what gets a lot of people not coming to events or hesitant, is that they don't want to have to pay for parking. I know that when I went to the game, I was definitely not paying to park when I had a parking pass, so I just told the people that I was going to campus and I just parked in the student parking and I walked over. That's generally what most people do. Most students aren't going to pay to park, especially when they can park on that lot. And I actually do this with my family. When I bring them to events, I just park and we walk over, because nobody wants to pay for parking. And I know I work at Sound Arena, and they charge $10 for parking, even for staff, if we're not there early enough, and that's pretty bogus, but you have to make your money somehow, and I totally understand that. But there are some other parking lots that people park in to walk over. Some people park in the Campus Point lots by the Maya Cinema, that little shopping center right there, and they just walk over. You know, you're not really supposed to, but people will do it anyways. And then there's a dirt lot across the street. Some people park there. I heard that the interns have to park there. So there's a lot of parking, and especially when we get like really big like concerts, those lots are definitely used, because the Save Mart Center does have a lot of parking, but it does not have enough to support that many people coming to a sold out event. But for a game like any basketball or sporting event, for the most part, just the parking at the Save Mart Center is going to be enough.
As far as concessions go for this game, things were pretty much as anybody would expect them to be. They sell pretty much general products. They have your usual pizza, nachos, soft pretzels, candy, soda, water, all that good stuff. The Same Art Center has a partnership with Me and Ed, so that's the type of pizza that you can expect to get. And then they also have a partnership with Pepsi, so the drinks that are sold there are Pepsi products. So if you're a Coke fan, you're not going to be very happy. The Same Art Center also sells adult beverages as well. Access to the concessions was extremely easy. The crowd at the game wasn't very big, so it was easy to get food without waiting in line for a super long time. Even at halftime, when you'd expect the lines to be long, there wasn't very many lines. The customer service at the concession stands was pleasant. They were glad to help us get what we wanted. The transactions were quick and easy. It is a lot easier to have quick and pleasant transactions when there isn't a rush of people, but they treated us with a high standard that you would like to be set at every event, regardless of the crowd size. For the staff that was necessary at this event, there was a lot of people that seemed to be there, and there's a mix of staff from the Same Art Center as well as staff from Fresno State Athletics in itself. We got information from Fresno State Athletics events and facilities staff as to how much of each department works at these events. From what they said, they have 12 security guards, 10 to 12 ushers, 10 concession staff members, 7 table crew members, 7 video and broadcast crew members, 6 marketing team members, 4 ticket takers, 4 operations members, 4 camera operators, 4 janitorial members, 4 facilities members, 3 box office workers, 2 technicians, 2 radio broadcasters, and 1 electrician. So from that, it's fairly a range of people. As far as the behaviors from the fans, staff, and players, it seemed to be that everybody was respectful to each other. There was no fights or anything like that. The players all acted in a way that represented Fresno State the way that it should be represented, and all of the staff present, with the exception of the security in their uniforms, were dressed appropriately and acted in a professional manner. For our overall event grade, we would give the event a B. We didn't expect a huge crowd, nor did we expect any spectacular marketing or promotions to be going on. Parking and concessions are always going to be the same with sporting events played at the State Mart Center. The only time parking and concessions are a huge issue is when there are large concerts being held. The only reason the event gets a B and not an A is because of the lack of excitement in the arena for a team that was dominating a majority of the game. Hopefully more fans will come out and support the women's basketball team at their home in the State Mart Center because it is a good team to watch and they are winning and the games have the potential to be very exciting.